Welcome to part two of this mini series. I'm gonna focus this part specifically around the design. So we're gonna go to Lovable. We're gonna take the designer spec we built yesterday. We also built the PRD, and I was kind of deciding should we start the project coding. But I kind of got curious, and I just want to see what Lovable is gonna spit out design wise, and then we're gonna take that code and we're gonna start our project. Potentially, that's just gonna bleed into part three. But what I would do, and this is kind of my flow right now, if there's a better solution, please, let me know. But for right now, I'll take all of this, which was like, if you remember last we told it was like, hey, I want to build a very modern looking UI. So basically what I was looking for Grok to give me was like, based on the PRD we built above, build a spec that you would give a designer so the designer could build the UI. Okay, so now that we have this design, I'll literally just go ahead here, designer specifications. It's going to go over project overview. It's going to say some design goals, kind of a color palette that it chose, the typography, guidelines, kind of UI command, specific design elements, and it's pretty much a sample wireframe, which is pretty cool, right? So let's select all this. Now that we have this selected, I'll copy this and I'll toggle over to Lovable, and we're going to paste this here. Not only that, and I'm just going to add for this design. So this is just kind of like file management, which is going to help us later down along the line. So I'm just going to hit enter here. Amazing. So it looks like Lovable finished the design. This might be just kind of broken just because it doesn't seem like we have enough space. Either way, it's things we can tweak. But this is actually a pretty crazy for a one shot. And it kind of, encapsulates what I want, right? And like, oh, wow, this is great. Either way, because we're using plaid, we're likely going to use the plaid wireframe for this. But other than that, let's see if we bring it out. If it's just like a mobile responsiveness issue, nah. All right. So now all this are things we can easily tweak. But yeah, as long as of right now for like a single, like one shot, just looks pretty nice. Obviously has like a logout. All right, great. Awesome. It fixed it. Oh, wow. Now it actually added this hover effect. I don't know if that was there before, but either way, legend is here, so we don't really need that connect new account. So that's not working, but that's fine. Let's say remove that pill. Sweet. Awesome. So now there's really a couple things you could do, right? And this is totally up to you. But what I would do here is you can either go to GitHub. Sorry, just worth mentioning, every file is optimized to be under 200 lines, which is great. And oops, I spoke too soon. Well, this is a shad CN component that it added, so probably didn't have any control over that. But anything that it created itself is going to be under 200 lines. So generally what I would do here is, and what we're going to see in part three is I'd probably just copy over all of this, even though it's a little bit more tedious. But the reason is because I want to use turborepo, because I want to build a Nest.js backend, because I want to add queues and I want to add like cron jobs, so it syncs like all my accounts on a periodic basis. So yeah, so again, right, you could just connect your GitHub, link that to GitHub. You could also connect Supabase. But what I'm going to do here is essentially, and we're just going to leave this here before we go to part three, but we're going to do npx, actually, turbo, npx create turbo repo. Turbo repo has a very nice CLI, so I'm just going to say yes here. Where would you like create it? Right there, and we're just going to call this app. I like Yarn. I've been a big fan of Bun. I just don't think Nest supports Bun right now, at least not out of the box like that. And I just want to do this as out of the box as possible. Great. So I don't know if you've worked with Turbo Repo in the past, but it's a way to manage spaces. It's actually sponsored by Vercel. The way it works is you have your packages, which is all your internal packages, which you can share within your apps. Um, and what I would do here is I'd create an XJS project here and then an SJS project. Basically, all your like actual applications would live within apps, and then your packages, like you could have like shared UI components. I even go ahead and sometimes put my database in shared package, so that way you can call your database both from like your backend and your front end with Next server components. Is actually pretty cool. And you could easily just, cd apps, and then in here npx create next app latest. I'm just gonna call this, I guess, UI. You like to use Iceman. Great. So literally, it just created that a whole entire UI project in there. You could also do nest new API within apps. Again, we're gonna use Yarn. And just like that, now you have a full Nest.js project. So I'm gonna leave it off there just because I wanna be able to do a good part 3 where we're gonna like start doing API work and UI work. But yeah, with this, I think it sums it up really well. So just to conclude, right, we grabbed the designer spec from Grok, which we had it built from the PRD. We went to Lovable. In Lovable, we generated a UI based on that PRD. And now we've also created a Turbo Repo project with the UI and a web project. And then we're going to take the code that this generated, copy it over, and yeah, take it from there. I'll see y'all in part 3.